Welcome back to the Geterbrewed channel. We're going to talk about sour beer production. Acid House is our brand new fermenter souring yeast from AEB, and part of the series, Andres is still here with us talking about the AEB yeast products. So sour beer production is now possible to do in the fermenter with this yeast strain.
That's right. Yeah. So I would say that's the easiest and the cleanest way how to make sour beers.
Yeah.
So basically, this strain, what you do is you just produce your wort and just pitch this strain at a temperature range between 19 to 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And basically, this strain will gonna produce lactic acid.
Yeah.
And some other flavor active compounds, and in minor extent at the beginning, ethanol as well, but mainly lactic acid. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And then with this strain, you can even just use it 100% just this strain for beers if you are aiming, let's say, up to 5% ABB.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to stronger versions, and then you can co-inoculate sequential pitching with another brewing yeast of your choice.
If you're brewing a sour beer up to 5%, this is suffice to generate the lactic production, to sour it, and to obviously ferment the sugars to create the alcohol content. If you're going above 5, you had said there that you could co-ferment with another yeast. Do you add both at the same time, or do you allow it to sour before you add the second yeast?
No, first you need to add the sour yeast first, because so there will be a competition for the
sugars.
For the substrate, as it's called. So you first allow the sour yeast to do its job, and then you can add the second yeast, to produce not just the alcohol but also the flavors, that you want to express, in your beer. And what I would say, is just the most practical and cleanest way to do sour beers, because you're just dealing with just one strain, sour yeast. There is no risk of cross-contamination, and also another big advantage is that this yeast can resist, IBUs, bitterness from the hops. Yeah. While when you're dealing with mixed cultures with bacteria, they're not tolerant to that, not at all. Now, when it comes to flavor, it's always a debate, for brewers who are into brewing, sour beers. Yeah. Dealing with just one with a sour yeast, or mixed cultures with breads, for instance, and this. Basically the difference is that with the sour yeast this produce lactic acid. Yeah. While with the mixed cultures it's producing different type of organic acids, not just lactic but also acetic acid and some other minor organic acids. So of course that give you a different flavor profile. But this doesn't mean that the one is better than the other. It depends what kind of flavor you want to express.
You'd mentioned there, the bacteria and other sour beer production. This is a tank souring process. The bacteria process usually carried out in barrels with long periods of aging to allow that complexity to develop. So you're rewarded for the patience in that sort of bug sour beer production, but this is a quick process that we can turn around quite quickly and can be enjoyed fresh.
Exactly. And another advantage you have, for instance, with it is you can do the popular Berliner Weisse. Yeah. Fairly quickly. Yeah. And also you don't need to deal with kettle souring. Yeah. So that's because so it's time, and
we have been experimenting with this strain, so making some sour beers for the brew pubs in Belfast and that, and we've approached it with a 50-50 grist of Pilsen and wheat malt, and then adding some of the puree, because usually the sours come along with a fruited sour, so we add some of the puree to the whirlpool. What we find is that this strain really likes the simple sugars that's in the
That's puree. Right, yeah. That's right. Actually, it's advisable when you're dealing with fruit beers in general. Yeah. The advice is to the brewers, either you add it in the whirlpool, because also you can sort of, you don't sterilize, but at least you make sure that there is no big issues with any kind of contamination. And exactly as you said, because they have fruits, they have high levels of fructose or simple sugars, that they just can ferment. Yeah. And if you want to add the fruit in the fermentation tank, you need to do it when the yeast is still active.
We would usually add a few points off final gravity. So we use aseptically packaged puree, so it's safe to add straight to the fermenter as long as you're opening and using in one go. So we would add some puree to the whirlpool, a few points off final gravity. We'd add the remaining puree so that we don't have re-fermentation in the kegs or bottles. So that
this is the point. So you because if you do it at a later stage of a fermentation, you can run the risk of have a re-fermentation. Then of course we don't want that.
But look, I've used this. Kevin's used it. It's been a very good product. It's easy to use, produces good results, and it actually produces some nice flavors as well as souring. So
that's right.
You had mentioned, that there's pomegranate and sort of citrusy notes. Coming off it. So great product, easy to use. Highly recommend you check it out. And if Dylan could stop dancing to the house music in the background there, we could. Appropriately named, but look, it's a tank sour and easy product to use. If you need any further information on it, don't hesitate to get in touch with us in the comments below. If you need any technical support, reach out to us. Andres and my team here will be happy to help you. And until next time, happy brewing.